Hello, and welcome to this month's Resource of the Month from RIT Libraries. My name is Ryan Tolnay, and I'm the Global University Studies and SOIS Liaison Librarian. And today we're going to talk about women and social movements in the United States from 1600 to the year 2000. So as you can see on my screen, we're starting at the RIT Libraries website, and this is where I would recommend accessing this database from. If you try to access it from another place or just a new browser, you may not be granted access because this requires authentication with RIT credentials. So from the RIT Libraries website, I'm going to click on Search Collections and then navigate to Databases. And then from here, I can either search if I know the name of my database, or I can go to the letter, or, just for future reference, if you need databases by resource type or subject, you can find those here. I'm going to search by typing in women. And here we have women and social movements in the United States. So from here, I can click on this link, and it will take me to the database. There we go. Okay, so this database has a lot going on, which is wonderful, but can be a little intimidating. So that's why we're doing this series. So the first thing that I want to point out is the fact that this database contains primary documents and document sets, teaching strategies for instructors, a dictionary of social movements and organizations, and a lot more. So I encourage you to get into this database and start exploring. So the first thing that I want to hit on is the document projects. So these are a collection of primary documents on a particular subject. And the selection and interpretation of these documents is done by academic authors. So to access this, you can see on this kind of browsing wheel, you can navigate to it if it's not first choice, but it is for me today. So I can click on that. And then from here, you get a list that you can refine your search by author, by theme, what have you, or you can just dive right in. So I'm going to dive right into one of these examples, one of the first ones. And so clicking on that actually brings me to kind of the table of contents, if you will, of this document set. And then from here, I can see the document list, or I can go to specific documents. Let's go ahead and do that. So document one, once again, these are interpreted or analyzed by academic authors. And so these are done by someone named Tracy Neal Labelle. And so what it consists of is an introduction to the document and then the actual document. And sometimes these are maps, sometimes these are written letters that have been rewritten in or retyped so that we can actually read them. If you've ever tried to read historic documents, it can be quite challenging. So luckily, none of that here. But for this document set, it starts with a map. And then if you want to navigate to a specific document, you can, or you can just click next. And you'll see this is, I believe this is a letter. Yeah. So once again, definitely check out these primary documents and these document projects. They are really fascinating and will definitely be useful if you're doing research and need primary documents, or even get you started with some secondary sources. So if we go back to the front page, we can look at our next section, which is primary source sets. So once again, looking at primary sources, this is fantastic, fantastic resource for anyone doing that type of research. And once again, on the left side of the page, you can sort or refine your search by author, publisher, et cetera, et cetera. And then once again, it'll tell you how many documents are in a set, and you can click on them, and they're done by kind of topic. So let's look at the commissions on the status of women. We can click on the documents. And you get many results. So these are actually different sets of primary documents of commissions on the status of women. So fascinating. These go through, many different years, these scans. And so these are great resources for anyone doing research on this topic. Another aspect of this website that I'd like to kind of highlight are the teaching strategies. So I believe these are kind of targeting either advanced high school or undergraduate classes. And so once again, what's neat about these is that, they're collected by experts, and, you can click on one and it will have the primary sources, but also teaching strategies within this section. So if we open one up, it has, kind of questions that are associated with the primary sources that you can ask your students and kind of check understanding and elicit, more discussion in class. So, if you're a teacher, this is fantastic. It's a fantastic resource. If you're a researcher, this can kind of give you more information on, different aspects of women and social movements. Last, but certainly not least, if we go back to the front, we have, if we scroll over under this, we can see all the different things that are available. And, I've explored them and they're fantastic. But people, we click on people. If you have a specific person that you're writing about or that you're teaching about, you can search for them, find them, and then find what works are available by those individuals. So, this is alphabetical, but you can refine your search by social political activist, teacher, and many other kind of refined different subjects or titles that you can refine your search for. If I just click on social political activist, which there are many of, once again, we just get a list of individuals, and this is the number of works that are available. So if I click on that, it'll take me to those works. So if you're researching a specific individual or you're teaching a class and want to focus on one person, this is one way to do it. And it's so convenient because they just organize everything very well and make it accessible. And, it's just really a boon to anyone teaching these subjects. So I highly encourage you to access this database via the RIT Libraries website, just so that you're able to access everything and explore, because there are many other sections, and I highly recommend exploring it and seeing everything that this database has to find. So thank you for watching, and tune in next month for our next database of the month. Thank you.